There are so many changes that occur around us, isn't it? Can we list out some changes that you are familiar with? Just think of it. Okay, fine. Before moving on to the topic, I'll be demonstrating two experiments. Okay, you have to observe both the experiment and compare it, and you have to write down your inference on your notebook. Here I have two papers with me. Look, I have two papers with me. One paper I am going to crumble it, and onto the another paper I am going to burn it, and you have to observe the product of two experiments. Okay. Okay, I am taking one paper and I am going to crumble it. Observe it carefully. I am going to crumble it. I am placing it here. Okay. So I am taking next paper and I am going to burn it. Okay. Now look the both end product. Here I have got a crumbled paper, and here what I got. What is this? Yes, very good. It's ash. So is this two same? First we took a paper and we crumbled it and we burned it. Okay. So we got the output product as a crumbled paper and a ash. Here we can open the crumbled paper. Is it same as that of the taken paper? Yes, isn't it? Is this ash same as the first paper? No, it is a different material, isn't it? Okay. On comparing both these experiments, what inference do you arrive at? Please write it down in your science diary. While comparing both the experiment and on comparing the byproduct, here we got a crumbled paper. This paper we can be reversed into its original shape and size, isn't it? Look, we got it into the original size and shape, isn't it? When moving on to the next, can we return back or reverse back this ashes into new paper? No, isn't it? So, you understood that there are two types of changes around us. They are physical change and chemical change. Now note it down. Physical change and chemical change.
Physical change. A physical change is a change in which substance undergoes a change in its physical properties but retain its chemical composition. When a substance undergoes a change in its physical properties such as size, shape, color, it can be called as a physical change. Moving on to the properties, physical changes are reversible. We can reverse it back to the original position or shape. It is a so-called temporary change. And on this process, no new substance is formed. Looking on to the example, melting of ice and chopping of wood. When we took ice and allow it to melt, so we get water. We took the same water, on freezing it we get ice. So we can reverse it. The ice can be reversed to water and water can be reversed to ice. Similar in the case of wood. Chemical change. In a chemical change, one substance gets completely transformed into a new substance. Looking on to the example, burning of a wood. When we took a piece of wood and burn it, we get ashes. We cannot bring back the ashes into wood. So it is a permanent change and we cannot reverse it. So it can be called as irreversible. So in a chemical change, one substance gets completely transformed into a new substance. Here the wood get transformed into a new substance, that is ash. So it can be a permanent change and we cannot reverse it back. So it can be called as irreversible. Looking on the another example, digestion of food.
So now you are familiar with physical change and chemical change. We can look on to the more examples of physical change and chemical change through a video. Okay, I will be showing a video and you have to watch it carefully.
Chemistry, most changes are divided into two categories: physical changes and chemical changes. A physical change is something that changes the physical properties of an object or substance, like size, shape, or form. Cutting a piece of cloth is an example of a physical change. Even though the cloth changes shape and size when it is cut, it does not create a new substance. It's still cloth. Even if the pieces of cloth are sewn together and made into a shirt, only physical changes have occurred. The shirt is still made of the same substance as the original cloth, just in a new form. Another type of physical change involves changing states of matter, and water is a great example of this. Ice melts and becomes water, and water evaporates to become steam. But no matter its form, the water is still water. One way we can tell this is a physical change is that the change can be undone. Water vapor can condense back into liquid water, and liquid water can be frozen back into ice without changing to a different substance. In fact, many physical changes can be undone. For example, we know that dissolving sugar into water is a physical change, because even though the sugar and the water are mixed together, they do not combine and create a new substance. They are still just sugar and water, and they can be separated from each other. Not all mixtures are as simple to separate as sugar and water. When you mix butter, sugar, flour, and eggs, there is not a practical way to separate them again, but it is still only a physical change. The chemical change occurs when you put your mixture in the oven and add heat. Baking has many of the indications of a chemical change. The mixture in the oven absorbs heat. It also changes color and produces an odor. Gases are released, which is what helps the baked goods to rise. Finally, this change cannot be undone. You can't unbake a cake. Chemical changes occur when the particles of two or more substances are rearranged to form a new substance. For example, when you burn wood, the wood is transformed into a new substance, ash. Just like in baking, this change cannot be undone. Also like the cookies, the wood changes color, releases gases, smoke, and produces an odor. Unlike in baking, this chemical change releases heat and gives off light. Chemical changes take place all around us. Metal rusting, fireworks exploding, fruit ripening, and digesting food are all examples of chemical changes. Here are some clues to look at if you're not sure whether something is a chemical or physical change. Chemical changes always form a new substance. They may absorb or release heat. Sometimes a chemical change will cause a change in color, produce an odor, create a sound, release gases, or produce light. Chemical changes usually cannot be undone. Physical changes do not form a new substance. A physical change may change the shape or size of an object. It may change the state of a substance's matter. Many physical changes can be undone in some way. In a physical change, you end up with the same substance you started with, even if it looks different.
Hope you all understood the topic physical change and chemical change. Before concluding, let me give you a follow-up activity. Please note it down in your science diary. List out more examples of physical change and chemical change from your daily life. Tabulate it on your science diary. This I am repeating it. List out more examples of physical change and chemical change from your daily life and tabulate it on your science diary. Hope you all understood the topic. We will meet in the next class with another topic. Till then, bye.